everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, right here for this DIY number one, you see 3 boxes. These boxes came from the Dollar General, and they were going to be used for a fall DIY, and I decided not to use them. So I was looking the other day and I seen them in my stash, and I thought, you know, I can do something for Christmas with these. So what I am doing here is I am going in with the Waverly Antique Wax, and I am just giving it a good coat of wax all over on the inside as well as the sides as well as the outside. The only part that I did not do was the back. And I'm going in, I am using a foam brush because I think that you can get better coverage with that. It's going around, and I'm going around the front part of it and the sides as well. Just giving it, like I said, a good coverage. And I will be doing that on all 3 of them. Okay, then I'm going in with a paper towel, and I am wiping off the excess, what is it, oil. I'm sorry. Oh, my brain went on vacation for a second. All 3 of those they're drying, so I have them set aside. Okay, what I have here is the letter Y, the wooden Y, and I am going in with Waverly White, and I'm just giving it a good coat of paint, a good covering here, and it only took 1 coat for this. Just trying to get in all the little nooks and crannies here. I got that one done, and I'm going in and I am painting the J. Now, I actually did have an O to spell out the word joy, but my grandchildren came over and they got into my crafting room, and then the O came up missing. Not saying they did it, you know, but it was either one of them or Casper. Okay, so I decided just to go ahead and use one of those sticks that you get, you know, to fill in a Christmas tree. I don't know the exact name, but there is a whole pack of them, you can see. And I just cut one in half and formed it into the shape of an O. And then I went in with my white chalk paint and just brushed it to make it look like snow. And went all around it. I actually made it look like it had a lot of snow. Okay, now here's these 3 boxes here. Now what I do before I start laying the letters down is I decide to take the antiquing wax, and I just went in around the edges on the J and the Y just to give it a little bit more of a distressed look. Just around the very edges. And here I am working on the J now. Okay, then I went in with my Dollar Tree sanding block to distress it just a little bit more. Okay, now I'll be going in with my hot glue gun, and I'm using Gorilla Glue sticks, and I'm giving it a generous amount of hot glue and laying it down, trying to center it. And then I'm going in and I am putting in the little wreath for the O. Laying that aside, and I will go in now And once again, I will use a generous amount of hot glue for the Y and centering it as well. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these little berries that I got off of a floral pick from the Dollar Tree. And I believe I add a total of 4 of these to the wreath. I just love these little berries. Oh, I think I would add them to every DIY if I could. Okay, and so I took another one of those Christmas tree stick things and I cut it in half. And I'm placing one on each side at the top. I left the rope hangers at the top of the boxes in case so there would be an option if I wanted to hang them or if I wanted to just stand them on the tabletop. And here I am going in and cutting another one, placing one on each side. And I'll do it once again for the box that's holding the J. Trying to press down on it to make sure that it will stay. And then adding a couple of little berries at the top of that as well. I will do the same on each one of them. And then I will actually be going in because I seen 2 little pine cones sitting there, so I added them. And that completes the project, the DIY with a joy. Okay, what you're seeing here is, of course, you can see the pumpkin patch sign. And as you can see, I did not use it for the fall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going in and giving it a good coat of white chalk paint, Waverly white chalk paint. It took 3 coats to cover it. Now what is the sad part is the rest of this DIY did not load. I thought it was recording and it wasn't. So what I did, I had a wooden sign from the Dollar Tree that said Peace on Earth. I went in with some black chalk paint from the Dollar Tree and I gave the little wooden sign one good coat of paint. Then I went in with some buffalo check ribbon and I added a piece around the bottom and one around the top, as well as a few Dollar Tree floral picks. And it turned out really, really cute. And I just have continued adding paint. Like I said, it took 3 layers, or 3 coats to cover this. I covered the sides. The only part that I did not do was the back. It was just so heartbreaking that I did not get all of it on the video. That's, things like that happen though when you're trying to create a video for YouTube or for anything, it happens. You just have to go on with it. But like I said, I love this Waverly paint. It does go on smooth. And I guess the reason it took more than 1 coat because it was a dark picture to start with. And the wording on it was dark. Here we go with project number 3. Project number 3. This was actually a fall DIY. And I have taken out the fall florals. Had some scarecrow picks in it from the Dollar Tree. And I decided to go in and add some white poinsettias. And I struggled with the tag on it. You all know what those tags are like. Well, I have floral foam down in the bottom of the mason jar. And I took 2 bundles here. And I put them down into the jar. And fluffed them up. Well, here you can see me adding some red poinsettias, but actually I ended up taking those out because I really don't care for that color in a poinsettia at all. I love just the white ones. And so I'm going in. There is I think it's a Dollar General Christmas ornament. It was only $1. And so I used a generous amount of hot glue and glued it to the front. It had a jute twine string attached, and what I had done was I had just glued it to the top of the little box. But before I staged it, I ended up cutting that part off. And now what you're seeing me do is I have some buffalo check ribbon here. And I'm going to remove the mason jar out of the box. I'm just going to take the ribbon and go around the top of it. I did not add a bow to it. I wanted to keep it kind of simple. So I just went around it and closed it off. You can see right here where I burnt my fingers. Oh my goodness. And that was a very simple DIY. It's just utilizing what I already had in my stash, which that's what I try to do before I buy anything else. It turned out really, really cute. Here's the finished projects for today. There is the little box with the believe sign and the poinsettias in it. Here we have the 3 little wooden boxes that spell out joy. And here is the Peace on Earth sign that I created using buffalo check ribbon and the Peace on Earth sign from the Dollar Tree. I ask if you like my content, you hit the like, subscribe, share, as well as that post notification bell to keep